Alhamdulillah wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. So the last term that I didn't mention in the last video, but which is very important that people understand it, and it's best for it to have its own video, is Khariji. What is a Kharij? And who are the Khawarij? And what is Khuruj? And this is like the word, like linguistically, Khuruj means like to exit from something. And of course, like when someone says that they did khuruj an sultan, and like this is that this person went against that ruler and like tried to oppose them, like overthrow them. And so, of course, this is the meaning in a linguistic term. This would be like if someone did khuruj on a leader, then this means that they opposed him with force and like tried to take him over. And so this is one form of like the linguistic term of kharij or like khuruj. And then if you were to look at a khariji, then this is or like the term which is khawarij. This is like the group itself in the plural form, which would be called the khawarij. And so this is a form that is talking about a specific group of people that are also like, this is from the first types of bid'ah that came across was this group of the Khawarij, and they came across and they opposed the rule of the Khulafa, and they went against them and said that you are not ruling by what Allah has sent. And so they had major issues, and then they tried to make war and whatnot. They went to war, and it's a big fitna that happened with these people. And one of the main things that they did was they made takfir on the rulers, and then also like with this takfir that they did, they made the ability to kill these people once they're no longer Muslim. If someone becomes a non-Muslim, of course, like the punishment for ridda is like the hadduhu al-qatl. And so like the person who turns away from Islam, if they turn away from Islam, then of course like the Sharia, like in the Sharia, this person man baddala dinahu faqtuluh, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said this, that whoever changes their religion, like turns away from Islam, then kill them. And so this is like the punishments that's prescribed. So if somebody takes someone outside of Islam, and then they're basically making their blood halal, like they're making this person like he's basically allowed to be killed now. And so this is a very serious matter, and this is what the Khawarij did at the beginning. And in the books of like when we look at some of the books that talk about who are the Khawarij and what is their definition, a lot of the definitions that will come across in this, like the most popular definition, is that these are people that did takfir on people for doing kaba'ir. So they would say that these people did takfir on the rulers because they did something that was of the kaba'ir. And the reality of the situation is, using this term like in a mantiki way, if we look at this definition, there's a few problems in this. And one is because the Khawarij didn't necessarily have an usul. Like there's not like we have the Mu'tazila. They had an actual usul, like a foundational belief that they all held to, and they would have this, and it's understood in like some way. Some of it has gone away, like it's not necessarily clear what all of their foundation was, like all of their beliefs, because not all their books are saved, but or they come by sources that aren't from themselves. And so, but they had a foundational belief behind them and a reason that they came to these conclusions. But when we look at the Khawarij, their issue that they had was more politically based, and then it was also like based on shahwa. Like they had desires to put these people out of rule. So they would say this person left Islam with this act. And it wasn't because that this act, if they affirm that this act is a kabira, that this person is now, this person is now a kafir. It's not necessarily connected to the fact that this is kabira or not. And even like some of the things that they did, takfir on, weren't actually kabira. Like it's not like something that was a clear-cut kabira that they would do this. They would do this takfir on, but they would do this takfir with the better way to say that the Khawarij, like if we were to actually look at like a better definition that encompasses them and the people that come after them, is the Khawarij is anyone who does takfir on someone for them doing something that isn't kufr. or something that isn't mukaffir. So whoever who does takfir on someone else without them doing something that is kufr, or that is that way, and this encompasses the original Khawarij, and it encompasses the people that came afterwards that fall into this and that fall into this category of doing takfir on people without them actually having done kufr. So this would fall into that would encompass both of these categories, and this is the better definition for that, because the original like Khawarij, they didn't have usul that they were basing this takfir on. It was ashwi, and like it was just kind of like random and sporadic that they would do takfir on this person for a sin that they did, whether or not this sin was proved to be a kabair, and if it wasn't a kabair they wouldn't have done the takfir, but since it's a kabair, no, it wasn't this. They didn't have all this line of thinking. It was just this person did this, he's a kafir, And so this is the viewpoint of the Khawarij, and that they would do takfir on people without a mukaffir. And so this is the essence of Khawarij. And a lot of times this word kharij, they'll say this person's a khariji, or like that he's from the Khawarij and whatnot. And when they say this these days, they mean that this person went against the ruler in some way or another. And so this is actually not the actual. We look back at the Khawarij, yes, they went against the ruler, but is this the reason that they're labeled as bid'ah? Because they went against the ruler? Because if we did this, we're going to find lots of people that went against rulers that are all throughout the ages, even in like the Khulafat. A lot of was the beginning of each one of the caliphates, like from each one of these dynasties, like the Umayyah, or you go into the Abbasiyah, and you go through all of these started with some type of khuruj, and even inside of that you'll find khuruj here and here and here. Are we going to say that these people are Ahlul Bid'ah and they started this thing on Ahlul Bid'ah, and all the people that come after them are Ahlul Bid'ah? All the people that followed this Ahlul Bid'ah that started off with khuruj are Ahlul Bid'ah? No one says this. So like the issue of like the belief, like the khuruj, or like to say the khuruj itself is the belief of the Khawarij. No, like that's the takfir that they do without something that is reasonable to do takfir with. This is the essence of who the Khawarij are. And so we can find this aspect in people from that we look around in this day and age. We find them, such as like a lot of the extremist organizations out there that are out there. These people are doing takfir on people without accomplishing the shurut, or like the actual things that do takfir, and then this makes them from the Khawarij in that aspect, because they do this takfir. And then the last part of it, that they do takfir on somebody without valid evidence, and then they make their blood halal from that. And this is very key, that they also make this person's blood halal, like they allow this person to be killed because of that takfir that they did on this person without something that is taking him outside of Islam. This action that this person did didn't take him outside of Islam, and they say it took him outside of Islam, and that he is now deserving of the death penalty for leaving Islam. And so this is the essence of the Khawariji belief, and that they do this. And of course the Mu'tazili, they're a little different, because they would take them outside of Islam in the afterlife. Like they'd say this person did a kabira, and this is of course connected to the kabira itself, and this is a part of their usul. But that they said the person who did a kabira, that this person is he's a Muslim in this life, but in the afterlife he's not a Muslim. He's fi manzilatin bayna manzilatayn, and so he's like that he's in a place between two things. He's not a kafir. We won't say he's a straight up kafir, and we won't say that he's a straight up we won't say that he's a Muslim either. We would say that he's khalidina fiha. So you'd say that he's gonna stay in the hellfire forever and ever and ever, and he never comes out. And so like basically the end goal is the same as like saying that this person is a kafir, but they didn't say that, and they didn't say it in this life, and they didn't try to kill the person because he was because of this type because he went outside of Islam, such as like the Khawarij are trying to kill someone for coming outside of Islam, or they say that this person is allowed to be killed, which results in a lot of crazy behavior. And it's very problematic as well. And this is why it's very important that people study what is Iman and they understand what is Iman consisted of, and what is the basis of it, and what is the essence of it, and what makes this essence leave. Because when this essence leaves, this is the thing that we can say, oh, this person's Muslim or is not Muslim, or he did something that actually negates Iman in its totality. Okay, this person is no longer Muslim. Or this person, like the foundation, like there's the asli Iman, and then there's wajibat to the Iman, and then there's mustahabbat to the Iman, and all of these things are different levels. But if they have that asl, then they're still Muslim, and their blood is like protected. No one's allowed to kill this person. And so this is very important, and this is what the Kharijis, they go against us. Now, a lot of times we have the Madkhalis, they will basically say about anyone who says anything in opposition to a ruler, and it's not even that the people are calling people to go against the ruler. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Maybe they're just saying that this ruler is wrong and they need to change their ways, and they're doing public inkar. They say that this person is Khariji because they're going against the ruler in a matter. And this is not the essence of the Khawarij. The Khawarij are, their belief system is that they're making people, they're doing takfir on somebody without something that is a valid, mukaffir, which is like something that takes someone outside of Islam. And so if somebody does this, then in that case, then they would be a Khawarij. And we see this. There are actual groups out there, like a lot of these organizations that are out there, and I'm not saying their names, everyone knows what they are. But this is their group, this like mindset has come across, and it's come across with different stages. Like there's like the people that came where they do blanket takfir of all the people in a certain society. They would say everyone that's in a society is kuffar, or they would say all the government is kuffar, or this, that, and the other. And they'd say this with blanket statements. Oh, this is dalal, and this is from the Khawarij. But when we have, sometimes there are issues where people will do takfir based on ijtihad, and this is their ijtihad, and this is a matter of ijtihad. And so this is not a clear-cut way, but if this person came up with something that goes against the essence of tawheed, and then a scholar looks at this person and says, this person has negated the essence of tawheed, and this person comes up with the ruling, and this is a scholar that looked into this individual's case and sees the individual thing that he did that went against Islam, then in this case, he can make takfir. And this is not saying that he's a part of the Khawarij, because this is the issue where he actually has a hujjah, like he actually has an issue here that's at hand, as opposed to someone doing blanket takfir. This is a different issue. And if they don't have a hujjah that even holds any weight, shape, or form, then this would fall into that form of the Khawarij. But the Khawarij is not, the basis of this is not that someone goes against the rulers. This is an essence that also came along with it, and it's something that was with it, but that's not the essence of the belief. The essence of the belief is takfir without something that is a valid mukaffir. And there's a book that goes into the details of this, and I'll leave a picture of that at the during this, so that you can see this book, and it goes into the essence of like this terminology of the Khawarij, and why we can't necessarily just take the old things, and like if we took the old definition, or we took the way that people are throwing the term Khariji at different people, we'd see that these don't fit, and it doesn't have a similar standard. But if you look at the one that is brought up in this book, which I've explained here, this is something that is it holds more weight, and also sees why it's a dangerous thought principle, and that people need to be very careful not to fall into this thought principle. And some of the people that claim to be Salafis, and some of the people that claim are like they claim to be Salafis, and they're even Madkhalis, sometimes they'll fall into this. And some of the people that are that claim to be Salafis, they fall into this. Some of the people that are outside of, like, they will never claim that they're Salafi, they'll still do takfir for some things that are ghayr mukaffir. And so like this is the same thing. They would fall into this ideology of the Khawarij. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. Anything I've said that is good and that is true, then this is from Allah. And anything that I said that is a mistake, then I seek Allah's refuge from that, and that's from me and the shaitan. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت وأستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
فلذلك فادع واستقم كما أمرت ولا تتبع أهواءهم وقل آمنت بما أنزل الله من كتاب وأمرت لأعدل بينكم الله ربنا وربكم لنا أعمالنا ولكم أعمالكم لا حجة بيننا وبينكم الله يجمع بيننا وإليه المصير